I'm Mike Bowers and I'm photographer at large for the New Daily. I'm talking pictures this morning with journalist, cartoonist and author Eleri Harris, and a very warm welcome. You've published a book, A Lure of One's Own, which is about the serious lack of female toilets in this building.
Yeah, even though this building opened 25 years after women got the right to vote and stand for election, there were no toilets for women in the working part of the building.
Right, so parliamentarian toilets. Isn't it lovely to see the Liberal Party's moved on completely? Because, you know, Alan Stockdale suggested that perhaps it was the men that needed to be looked after, not assertive women.
Progress. It's happening very quickly in Australia.
Lovely Cathy Wilcox cartoon. So I said, you ladies don't need special quotas. You're assertive enough as it is. Just joking, of course.
I really enjoyed Bridget McKenzie's comment saying that they should go back to the Melbourne Club and sit down with a whiskey. And I feel like this is what Cathy's doing here in this cartoon. And there's like the dinosaur skeleton. Ah!
With new US tariffs on steel and aluminium, the US administration is really testing our mettle. Mark Knight's done a lovely Man of Steel tariffs, tipping some molten lead onto Anthony Albanese here.
Yeah, all you can do is like imagine what the tariff feels like, and I guess that's what you have here. It's like molten metal.
Dean Alston from the West Australian seems to think that this is going to be a Top Gun type of affair with never mind Iran. I want to test these bunker busters on our friends first.
I think it feels like he's Roger Ramjet here. It's like, great, here like we're going to treat our friends with the utmost respect and kindness.
Yeah, Brett Lethbridge has got pinball diplomacy with US President bouncing around between 125 and 50% tariffs.
Yeah, going between the appeal and the courts. And that's what I think about the feeling. It feels like a boom, 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 boom.
It wasn't just tariffs we were having to deal with this week. Pete Hegseth, the US Defence Secretary, suggesting we need to spend more on defence. More on defence.
Yeah. That's the top of the pops. That's, you know.
Cathy Wilcox.
You folks should spend up on defence. Can't you see what a threat China is to world peace?
Yeah.
And then you've got obviously like Trump sitting there with all of these things that the US are doing. You know, that's not a threat to world peace.
AUKUS, what AUKUS? I love that little balloon there that's floating. Quit the World Health Organisation. David Rowe, in a way that only David Rowe can do, has got Richard Marles in bed after the meeting, and here's Party Sauce Pete.
The hangover from that is going to be an even worse Rowe cartoon.
Miles in Wonderland. If only China would show the same kind of regional transparency. Albo, you there? I think I'd hang up on him too.
Yeah.
Johanna seems to feel like we're riding on the back of MAGA with NDIS, DEI and net zero. He's got a very buffed up Pete Hegseth here. No worries, Pete, Australia's got your back.
A bit creepy.
It's very creepy. Dorinda Cox had the Greens seeing red as she switched parties. It's been quite an eventful post-election period, hasn't it?
Yeah, high drama, I would say.
Yeah.
Even like a week ago, she was railing against the gas stuff, and now here we are.
I did love this David Pope, the wedding gift registry. It's just such a lovely take on...
it's beautiful.
It's Anthony Albanese in bed here with Jodie fast asleep. There's a toaster from Susan.
A kettle from Little Proud.
Oh, and a senator from the Greens voters in WA.
Should we have added a carbon offset option on this page?
Gone with the windbag, David Rowe.
But where shall I go? What shall I do? Golf aside.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a Tesla. Bromance has turned into a no-mance, hasn't it?
You know, Trump called Elon crazy, and Elon saying that, you know, Trump might have had something to do with Epstein.
Yeah, it is spectacular. David Pope, Dozilla versus King Don. Destroy any remaining trust in government by replacing every department with an AI chatbot.
No, destroy any residual trust in government by looting the budget for tax cuts for the rich. I really love the childlikeness of it. You know, they look like big toddlers in animal suits destroying all of the Lego underfoot.
Yeah, need a playpen around them. It's been a great pleasure, Larry, coming to the Senate chamber of the Museum of Australian Democracy at Old Parliament House, and I'll let you do the honours.
Back to you, Captain Spears.